There was a time when no one called him a king. No massive stadium chants, no thunderous screams shaking arenas, no headlines celebrating his influence, no millions of fans waiting for a single glimpse of his smile. Just a young boy with impossible dreams. Before the world knew him as Park Jimin, before the spotlight, before the sold-out shows and unforgettable performances, there was simply Park Jimin, a teenager from Busan, carrying ambition that seemed far too big for someone so young. And if there is one thing fans have learned over the years, it is this. Jimin's story was never easy. It was earned. A boy from Busan with big dreams. Born in Busan, South Korea, Jimin grew up with a passion for movement and performance. Even before becoming an idol trainee, he was already deeply connected to dance. He studied contemporary dance and reportedly stood out among his peers for both discipline and emotional expression. Long before millions admired his stage presence, there were already signs that something about him was different. Teachers noticed it, classmates noticed it. That intensity, that determination, that perfectionism. Even then, Jimin wasn't the type to simply participate. He wanted to improve, constantly. For many future idols, entering entertainment companies happens early. Some train for years before ever standing on stage. But Jimin's journey moved differently. When he auditioned and eventually joined HYBE, then known as Big Hit Entertainment, he reportedly had one of the shortest training periods among future members of BTS. Sounds exciting, right? Not exactly, because having less training time also meant pressure. A lot of pressure. Imagine entering a team where others had already spent years sharpening their skills. Imagine trying to catch up while knowing expectations were high sky. That was Jimin's reality, and according to stories shared over the years, he pushed himself relentlessly, sometimes too relentlessly. The pressure to be good enough. Fans who discovered BTS later may only know the polished, charismatic Jimin seen today. But early Jimin, he was hard on himself, extremely hard on himself. In interviews and behind-the-scenes moments across different eras, Jimin often revealed insecurities about his performance, appearance, and whether he was truly doing enough. It is one of the reasons many fans feel emotionally connected to him, because beneath the elegance, beneath the confidence people see on stage, there was always someone quietly trying to improve. Someone who questioned himself, someone who worried, someone who wanted to become better not only for himself, but for his members and fans too. And when BTS officially debuted in 2013 with No More Dream, the road ahead looked anything but easy. Back then, BTS were not the global superstars people know today. They were underdogs, a smaller company group trying to survive in an industry dominated by giants. The competition was brutal. Recognition wasn't guaranteed. Success definitely wasn't guaranteed. And in those early years, Jimin was still figuring himself out. The debut era that changed everything. If you look back at debut era Jimin, one thing immediately stands out: intensity. His performances felt explosive, powerful, hungry. You could almost feel the desperation to prove something. Whether through dance, facial expressions, or stage charisma, there was already something magnetic about him. Even then, audiences noticed. He wasn't always the loudest, but somehow your eyes naturally drifted towards him. And yet, despite praise, Jimin remained incredibly critical of himself. There were moments when he openly discussed dieting pressure, moments where fans worried about how much expectation he placed on himself, moments that revealed how demanding idol life could be behind the glamour. Because the truth is, transformation is rarely beautiful when you're living through it. At the time, no one knew what BTS would become. No one knew they would one day dominate charts around the world, and no one could fully predict how dramatically Jimin himself would evolve, finding his place in BTS. One of the most fascinating parts of Jimin's story is that he didn't instantly arrive as the virgin fans know today. He grew into it, slowly, painfully, beautifully. In the early years, every BTS member had to discover their identity within the team. For Jimin, that identity slowly became clear through emotion. There was always something emotional about his performances. He didn't just dance, he felt. He told stories with movement. Even casual viewers who didn't know BTS often said the same thing. There's something about that guy. His expressions, his stage presence, his ability to make vulnerability look powerful. Over time, fans started noticing that Jimin performances didn't just entertain, they stayed with you. You remembered them. The turning point fans still talk about. Many longtime fans point to different moments as the beginning of Jimin's transformation. For some, it was his increasing confidence during BTS's rising years. For others, it was the shift in his vocal delivery. And for many, it was his growing emotional maturity. Because something started changing. The shy trainee who constantly worried, he was still there, but little by little, another version of Jimin began emerging, a performer with elegance, control, confidence, a magnetic aura impossible to ignore. And perhaps most importantly, he stopped trying to simply survive. He started becoming unforgettable. Still, the road was far from smooth. Fame came with pressure, success came with expectations, and global attention, that changed everything. Because as BTS started rising beyond South Korea, Jimin's transformation entered an entirely new chapter, a chapter no one saw coming, one where the world would stop asking, "Who is Jimin?" and start asking, "How is someone this talented even real?" Success changes people, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once. But in the case of Park Jimin, his transformation felt different because it wasn't only about fame. It wasn't just about better styling, more confidence, or bigger stages. It was about growth. The kind of growth fans witnessed in real time. The kind that made people stop and think, wait, when did Jimin become this powerful? Because somewhere between BTS's difficult rookie years and their global rise, something shifted, and suddenly, Jimin wasn't just one of the members of BTS anymore. He became a presence. From strong performer to magnetic performer. Back in BTS's early days, fans already admired Jimin's dancing. That much was obvious. His background in contemporary dance gave him something unique, movement that felt emotional rather than mechanical. Every gesture meant something. Every expression felt intentional. But as the years passed, fans began to notice something else. Jimin wasn't only improving, he was transforming. Watch performances from different BTS eras, and one thing becomes clear. Jimin learned how to command attention without demanding it. He didn't need the loudest moment. He didn't need the flashiest choreography. Sometimes a single expression was enough. A glance, a movement, a quiet second before the music exploded, and somehow audiences couldn't look away. It became one of the most talked about things in fandom spaces. People who weren't even fans of BTS often found themselves asking, who is the guy with the insane stage presence? The era that changed everything. For many fans, one major turning point came during BTS's artistic evolution. As their music matured, so did Jimin. The intense rookie energy slowly transformed into something more refined, more emotional, more cinematic. And then came performances that fans still discuss years later. Songs where Jimin's ability to tell stories with movement felt almost unreal. Stages where elegance and power somehow existed at the same time. Moments that turned casual viewers into devoted fans overnight. Many fans point to performances from eras like Blood, Sweat and Tears, Fake Love, and Black Swan as proof of Jimin's artistic evolution, especially Black Swan. For countless fans, that era felt like watching an artist fully understand who he was. The emotion, the control, the vulnerability, the quiet intensity. It didn't feel like someone performing choreography anymore. It felt like someone becoming the art itself. And people noticed. A lot of people. More than just a performer, but Jimin's transformation wasn't only happening on stage, it was happening off stage too. Because while audiences admired the charismatic performer, fans also saw another side, the caring friend, the affectionate teammate, the person who constantly worried about others. Over the years, BTS members often describe Jimin as someone deeply emotional and thoughtful, someone who checks on people, someone who notices when others are struggling, someone who cares deeply. And strangely enough, this contrast made fans love him even more, because how could someone be so powerful on stage, yet so warm off stage? How could someone command arenas, yet still seem genuinely humble? That duality became part of Jimin's identity, soft but strong, gentle but fierce, comforting yet impossible to ignore. The voice that grew with time. Another part of Jimin's transformation came through his vocals. Early on, people recognized his unique tone almost instantly, airy, emotional, distinctive. But as BTS evolved, fans noticed growth in control and confidence. Jimin's voice became part of the emotional core of many BTS songs, sometimes fragile, sometimes haunting, sometimes heartbreakingly beautiful. And while every artist faces criticism, especially under global scrutiny, one thing remained clear. Jimin never stopped improving. That became part of his reputation. He worked and worked and worked. Perfectionism, for better or worse, became part of his story. Fans admired it, but they also worried about it, because Jimin often seemed like someone who carried enormous expectations on his own shoulders. The rise of global BTS. Then came something no one could fully prepare for: global superstardom. Suddenly, BTS weren't just popular idols anymore. They became a worldwide phenomenon. Award shows, chart records, sold-out stadiums, international headlines, historic achievements. And with that rise came something fascinating. Jimin's global popularity exploded. Across social media, clips of his performances spread everywhere. New fans discovered BTS through him. Fan cams went viral. Performance edits gained millions of views. People became obsessed with what fans often called the Jimin effect. That feeling of accidentally noticing him and then somehow never looking away again. The pressure of being seen. But success always comes with pressure, and for someone like Jimin, someone already known for self-criticism, that pressure could feel enormous. The bigger BTS became, the more eyes followed every move, every performance, every hairstyle, every expression, every moment. Imagine living under that microscope. Imagine constantly trying to improve while millions are watching. And yet, despite the pressure, fans saw resilience. Even during difficult periods, Jimin continued showing up, continued performing, continued giving everything. That dedication became part of why fans admired him so deeply. Because greatness rarely happens by accident, and Jimin's story increasingly looked like proof of that. Becoming an icon without realizing it. What makes Jimin's rise fascinating is that it never felt forced. It happened naturally, gradually, quietly, one performance at a time, one emotional moment at a time, one unforgettable stage at a time. Until suddenly, he wasn't simply admired, he was iconic. People started describing him with words like legendary, captivating, irreplaceable. And perhaps the most interesting part, Jimin himself still often seemed humble about it all, still thoughtful, still emotional, still someone who cared deeply about fans. But by now, one thing had become impossible to deny. The nervous rookie from debut days, he had changed. A lot. And the world was beginning to realize something powerful. This wasn't just an idol growing up. This was an artist transforming in front of millions. A transformation that would eventually lead to solo success, an even stronger global identity, and moments so massive that fans would begin to call him something almost unthinkable: King Jimin. There comes a moment in every artist's career when success stops feeling temporary, a moment when people stop asking whether they matter and begin recognizing that they have already left a mark. For Park Jimin, that moment did not happen overnight. It wasn't built through one viral clip, one award, or one lucky opportunity. It came through years of consistency, years of sacrifice, years of quietly proving himself over and over again. Because by the time fans started calling him King Jimin, it no longer felt like just a nickname. To many people, it felt earned. When Jimin became more than a bias. Inside fandom culture, everyone has favorites, a bias, someone who naturally catches your attention. But Jimin often became something more complicated. For many fans, he wasn't just their favorite member of BTS, he became the person who pulled them into BTS in the first place. And that happens again, and again, and again. It became almost a pattern. Someone watches a BTS performance casually. They notice one member, someone with intense charisma, sharp movements, emotional eyes, unexpected elegance, and suddenly they're asking, wait, who was that? Longtime fans even joked about it because there was something strangely consistent about Jimin's ability to attract attention. Not loudly, not aggressively, almost effortlessly. A single fan cam could change everything. One stage performance could turn a casual listener into someone searching interviews at 2 a.m. That quiet magnetism became part of what fans called the Jimin effect. The solo artist everyone was waiting for. As BTS expanded globally, another question slowly started growing among fans. What would Jimin look like as a solo artist? The curiosity made sense, because Jimin had already shown signs of strong artistic identity, emotion, storytelling, movement, sensitivity, a unique vocal color. Fans knew he had something special, but even then, expectations were massive. And when solo opportunities eventually arrived, the pressure became enormous, because with global fame comes impossible standards, especially when millions already expect perfection. Yet, Jimin's solo era revealed something deeply important. He wasn't trying to copy anyone else. He was becoming more himself, more vulnerable, more emotionally honest, more experimental. Many fans appreciated seeing another side of him, not only the powerful performer, but the artist behind the emotion. Someone thoughtful, someone reflective, someone willing to show imperfection. And ironically, that honesty made people connect with him even more. The relationship between Jimin and fans. One reason Jimin's popularity feels so personal to many fans is because of how emotionally connected he often seems to supporters. Across years of live broadcasts, concerts, interviews, and fan interactions, one thing repeatedly stood out. Jimin remembered emotions. He often spoke sincerely, sometimes shyly, sometimes emotionally, sometimes in ways that felt deeply comforting to fans. And whether through words, performances, or simply showing vulnerability, many supporters felt understood by him. That emotional connection matters, especially in fandom culture, because people don't only admire talent, they remember how someone made them feel. And for many fans, Jimin represented comfort, warmth, healing, a safe feeling. Yet somehow, he was also the same person who could completely dominate a stage minutes later. That contrast fascinated people. How could one person feel so comforting, yet so powerful? The fashion, the presence, the influence. As years passed, Jimin's public image evolved too. People noticed his style, his elegance, the way he carried himself. Whether wearing luxury fashion or simple casual outfits, conversations constantly followed. Media outlets discussed his influence. Fashion moments became headlines. Fans recreated styles. Brands noticed attention. And it became increasingly clear, Jimin wasn't just following trends, he was shaping conversations around them. His influence felt cultural, global, and strangely effortless. Because unlike artists who seemed desperate to dominate attention, Jimin often appeared quietly confident, reserved even, which somehow made people more curious. The weight of expectations. But behind admiration, there was always pressure, massive pressure. When millions expect excellence, every mistake feels bigger, every criticism feels louder, every performance becomes a test. And fans often noticed how seriously Jimin took his craft. He cared, deeply, sometimes maybe too deeply. Perfectionism remained part of his story, even after becoming globally famous, even after success, even after proving himself countless times. That desire to improve never seemed to disappear. And perhaps that is exactly why fans admired him, because despite accomplishments, Jimin never acted like he had already arrived. He kept growing, kept learning, kept challenging himself. The birth of King Jimin. So when did fans start calling him King Jimin? There is no exact date, no single official moment. Instead, it happened naturally, through consistency, through unforgettable performances, through loyalty from fans, through years of emotional connection, and through moments where people simply sat back and thought, no one does it like Jimin. The nickname grew stronger as his influence expanded. Trending moments, global fan support, powerful performances, massive reactions online. little by little, King Jimin stopped sounding dramatic. For many fans, it simply felt accurate. A symbol of respect, a symbol of growth, a symbol of how far he had come. Because think about it, this was the same person who once worried whether he was good enough, the same trainee trying desperately to catch up, the same rookie quietly fighting insecurities. And now, people across the world admired him, celebrated him, looked up to him. The transformation felt unbelievable. Toward the AMA 2026 era. And then came another chapter, a chapter that for many fans felt symbolic, the AMA 2026 era. Not because one single night suddenly changed everything, and not because success magically appeared out of nowhere, but because after years of struggle, sacrifice, pressure, and growth, it finally felt like the world was witnessing what fans had seen all along, the evolution of Jimin. And to understand why so many people emotionally call him the King of AMA 2026, you have to go back to the beginning, back to uncertainty, back to fear, back to the version of Jimin who wasn't sure if he was enough. The boy who almost never felt finished. One thing fans have consistently noticed about Jimin through the years is this: he rarely seemed satisfied with himself, even after breathtaking performances, even after praise, even after achievements most people could only dream about. Jimin often talked about wanting to improve, to do better, to become better. That mindset shaped his journey, but it also made his growth emotional to witness, because fans didn't simply watch someone become successful,